As some of you may know, I've been selling Canva templates on Etsy for more than a year now. I have 64 listings and I've made over $5,000 in revenue. If you're also thinking about selling Canva templates on Etsy, keep watching because this entire video will be dedicated to how exactly you can set that up. First thing is, what are the prerequisites, or are there even any prerequisites you should think about before you sell Canva templates on Etsy? And I would say yes. So if you have used Canva before and if you have a good eye for design, I would say that is a really good start already. Now, if you don't know graphic design and if you haven't used Canva before, I would ask you, why are you starting an Etsy shop selling Canva templates? There are a lot of business ideas out there, and if you are thinking about selling digital downloads, you're not sure if you should do Canva templates or something else, check out my video here on the alternatives to selling on Etsy. Now, the first thing you want to do before you start anything is to figure out what your niche is going to be on Etsy. You can't just design any random Canva template and make your Etsy shop just, selling everything. You have to pick a good niche, and there are a lot of reasons for that. To figure out your niche, there are some things you should consider. So the first thing is look at your current skills, what you already know, and to pick a niche based on what you're interested in, because you're going to be making these products for a really, really long time. You want to do something that you personally are interested in, or else you're just gonna get bored of things. Another thing to consider is if you can make a product that you yourself use, aka you are the customer of the product that you're making, this is probably like the best thing because you already know what things you need in the product because you literally are the customer. You are going to use this thing. For more in-depth tips on how to pick a niche, definitely check out this video right here. One of the most important things when it comes to picking a niche is actually making sure that this thing is in demand by customers, and you also want to check out what kind of competition there is out there. There are a lot of Etsy market research tools out there, and one of my favorites that I've been using this year is EverBee, which also has this amazing Chrome extension which you can use to see what other shops are selling and how much they're selling. You can see their estimated sales, how long the shop has been around for, and the tags that they're using, and a lot of other things with this tool. Their keyword research tool is also great for getting an idea of how different keywords compare to each other, and also for you to get ideas on what kind of tags to use and what kind of products to make. The higher the keyword score, the more it means there is more demand for this product and lower competition. Recently, they came out with something called EverBee Email, which is an email service that lets you build an email list with little time and effort. So they'll send transactional emails on your behalf, and customers can opt in to whether or not they want to receive marketing emails from you, which if they do, then you can build your email list and you can get more sales and more reviews. And you can also attach different products to your transactional emails so you get repeat sales. This new email service is included in the EverBee growth plan, which is $29.99 per month. And I do have a limited offer right now where you can get 50% off your first 2 months of EverBee, and I've included all the information in the description box. Now, after you've chosen your niche for your Etsy shop, now you need to design the actual products. So the first product will take a long time. I have to be honest, it took me so long to make the first product and the listing photos for the first product, but it makes sense, right? This is the first time you're ever doing something, and so you're really going to spend a lot of time on it. Don't feel bad if you're seeing a lot of YouTubers talking about, oh, I made this product in 1 or 2 hours and I make 10 products every single week. That's not really realistic if you are just a beginner selling on Etsy. I think my first product probably took me like 20 or 30 hours to make. So how exactly do you design it? So here are some tips. You can use existing Canva templates and make sure you are careful that you actually change up the templates so it is not the same as the original Canva template. It's not even like remotely similar, but you can use it as a base for your own product. And this is what I did with pretty much like all my Canva templates. I do have a more in-depth video on how to design Canva templates, like a step-by-step. You can actually see my screen kind of tutorial, so you can check it out here after you watch this video. Another thing you want to do is to look at competitors and see if you can do something with your templates that is either unique or different from what your competitors are doing. Don't use Canva Pro elements. So Pro elements means you're on the paid Canva subscription plan. You want to use free elements because you don't want to force your Etsy customer to pay for a Canva Pro subscription. I think it's just going to piss people off. So make sure that if it's a customizable or editable Canva template that your customer is getting, that you only use free elements, free fonts, free graphics, free photos. But if you're making listing photos, for example, and the listing photos are not something that's usable by the customer, right? The listing photos, you can use pro elements, like paid pro elements in it. So make sure you understand that distinction. So the thing that your customer is getting when they buy the template, there shouldn't be any pro elements. You can, but I just don't recommend it because you don't want to force your customer to pay. And here's a tip for actually getting the template to the customer. When you go to get the template link, you don't want to click the big copy link button, because if you share that with your customer, then they're going to be able to edit the original template, the one that's in your own account. What you want to do instead is to click template link. So then when your customer opens that link, they can create a copy of your template so they don't edit the original template. So they make a copy themselves. Something you might be wondering is how exactly you organize your Canva folders, because I think it can get really overwhelming when you have to create the customer template, then you have to make the listing photos, then you have to make a PDF for the customer to be able to access the template link. So what I have is in each product, for each product that I make, I have a Canva folder, and I have 4 things in that Canva folder. The first thing I have is a workspace document where, yes, I do use Canva Pro elements. And this workspace is kind of like it's basically the template, but with sample text and sample photos that I'm going to use when I make my listing photos. This is like the sample of the actual template. So I'll make the workspace first. That's me designing the actual product. Then I'm going to duplicate the workspace and make a template. So the template is the one that the customer actually gets. And the template, I don't include Canva Pro elements. So maybe in the workspace, I'm going to have some photos of people that are pro photos, like paid photos. But in the actual template link that the customer gets, I'm going to delete all the extra photos and stuff, so they're just left with the template. So when it's like a photo, there's actually no photo there. It's just like a blank spot where they can drag and drop a photo in. So don't use Canva Pro elements in the template. And then another thing I have in my Canva folder is a PDF. So this PDF is the PDF that the customer downloads when they buy the product on Etsy. So they buy the product on Etsy, then they'll get a PDF downloadable where inside they can click the template link to get access to the actual template. And then the other thing I have, the 4th thing, is the listing photos. So I have an entire other document for creating the listing photos. When I create the listing photos, I'm going to download all the images from the workspace, which has all the sample photos and stuff, and I'm going to download the photos from the actual customer template. So in the listing photos, the customers can see what it actually looks like after they use the template, and they can see what the template looks like. And I put all this information about how I organize my Canva folders into my Start Your Etsy checklist, which is a free document that you can get access to, and I've included the link in the description box. It has a whole bunch of resources for you to start your Etsy shop. After you've designed your Canva template, you want to make listing photos. So I do have several videos already on my channel about how to make listing photos, so you can check them out after you watch this video. But I think the most important thing is to make sure that it is simple, it's easy to read, you are showing the customer what they're actually getting, and you are making some beautiful mock-ups, and like the listing photos look really nice. If you're feeling really lost about how to make listing photos, I do have a mini course on how to make listing photos if you're selling digital products on Etsy. So I've included the link to that course in my video description box, and you can check it out. No pressure, but this resource is here if you want to have some more guidance on how to create listing photos. And I also show you how to make mock-ups using Midjourney and Canva and Photopea.com. Probably the most useful thing in this course is I have more than 50 pages of Canva templates that you can use so that you don't have to start your listing photos from scratch. The next thing that you want to do is to upload everything to Etsy, because you have to do the title, the description, you have to think about SEO, upload the listing photos and everything. For the description, I do have a tip. So everything that you have in your listing photos, all that information and all that text in the listing photos should basically be copy pasted into the description, because sometimes people don't read the description. So you don't want to have all the information about the product in the description and not add all that information in the listing photos. You want to have all this information about the products in the listing photos and in the description. A tip for the description is in the first sentence, first 2 to 3 sentences, you want to use the keywords as much as possible. For tags, you can actually use EverBee to see what other shops are putting for their tags. And I basically just take a look at a whole bunch of my competitors, see what tags they're using, and if they're relevant and if I think they're good, I'm basically going to copy the tags over to my own shop. I wouldn't just copy tags from one product from like my competitor and just like make it the exact same. I typically look at a bunch of different kinds of products from different competitors and I pick and choose which tags I want to use for my own product. But if you use a tool like EverBee, it's really easy just to like get ideas for what you should do with your tags. A general tip that I have for selling Canva templates is, because you know how when you design your Canva template for the first time, it's going to take you a lot of time, right? So what I usually do is I'll design one really good product, and then after that I'll make 4 to 5 variations of that product. So I'll change maybe the colors, change some fonts, change up the pictures so it kind of looks different, but it's still pretty much the same product, and I'll upload it as new products. So I'll have basically 5 to 6 of like similar products in my shop. I do have a lot of other videos on how to sell Canva templates and digital products, so you can check them out. And if this video was useful, please leave me a comment. I love getting comments and knowing that my content is helpful to you.